Hello everyone and welcome to more crafting and decorating on a budget. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys 10 DIY, Dollar Tree, and budget-friendly summer wreath ideas. So listen, I love to share with y'all how you can make your home's boutique gorgeous on a budget. I truly believe that y'all don't have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. And I feel like wreaths are such a great way to doll up your front door. I even like to put some in my kitchen and dining room. And even a girlfriend of mine hosts wreath making parties for fall and Christmas. So it can be a fun way to bring together family or friends and also to bless someone with a pretty wreath. And I even have some of you all that are starting wreath making businesses. So I want to encourage you guys to keep up the good work with your wreath making skills. And without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how you can decorate these Dollar Tree hoops and make a super trendy little beaded wreath. So you're going to see these out and about in all of your craft stores, and all you have to do is grab one of those little wreath forms from Dollar Tree and just gently take some wire cutters and cut it in half. And I'm going to use these beads. I actually found these on Amazon. I wanted kind of more of that farmhouse chic look. Now Dollar Tree does carry some beads, but they're colored, so it's up to you on what kind of look you're going for, but you can order a huge giant thing of beads off of Amazon, I believe for about $12, and I'll link some of my Amazon store down in the description box for you guys. But just take those little beads and thread them onto your wreath form. Once you get to the end of it, leave just a little bit of space. You can push those two together and then just use some wire to wire it back shut. And then I'm going to take this pretty little greenery. I actually had this. It was in an Amazon order with some roses that I ordered, working on some bridal stuff for a friend of mine. And I'm just going to take the greenery and pop it in to the end of the wreath, and adding just a little bit of touch of hot glue to kind of really get it in there secure. And you could even add a touch of wire, floral wire, if that would help. So I just want to put a little bit of greenery. Again, I am going for that farmhouse chic look with this. These are so pretty to pop into a little kitchen area. I think they would also be sweet in a baby's room. Although you'd want to make sure that those beads stayed on there really nicely. Maybe not a baby's room. Okay, but a little kitchen door wreath, or just any little space in your home that you kind of want that little boho chic, farmhouse chic vibe. Now I tied a cute little bow, and this is a striped bow, and here is how it turned out. Now I just popped it into this little space, and I put that little "when life gives you lemons, make something sweet" sign on there. I thought that was just a great mantra. It's one of my favorite signs. I picked it up from Dollar Tree multiple years ago. And then I'm going to share with you guys how to do the rest of these little they're kind of Pottery Barn inspired DIYs later in this video. But I hope you guys are loving this and are inspired to make a fun little spring summer wreath on a total budget. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super easy Deco Mesh Dollar Tree summer wreath. Okay, so from the Dollar Tree, you're going to grab 6 rolls of Deco Mesh. I'm making this kind of a fun in the sun beach wreath. So I'm taking 2 rolls of the Deco Mesh. I'm pinching them together and then adding a zip tie into that center prong. And then you're going to make like a little poof, and you're going to do the same thing, pinch it together and add a zip tie to that center prong. And you just want to keep making little poofs. This is what I call my poof wreath. It's pretty fail proof, I promise you guys. At the end of this, it's going to be nice and full and deco meshy and poofy. I'm not sure either one of those things are words, but hey, you guys know where I'm getting with this. Okay, so the Dollar Tree wreaths, have, and they're a 14-inch form, but they have these little prongs, and so you can just easily follow along where that little centerpiece prong is and just make poofs and go completely around the entire wreath. And then you just keep working that mesh, pulling those poofs out, adding the zip tie, and then doing that over and over again until you get the thickness that you desired. And then I'll show you guys towards the end of this tutorial a fun little way to fill out your Deco mesh poofy wreath to make sure that you don't have any like gaping holes where you can see that wreath form. So this is kind of just a speeded up version, but again, I'm just doing the same thing in the same spot, pulling those poofs out, adding zip ties, and then trimming those off, and then just doing that over and over. So we're going to do that with 4 rolls total for this wreath. Now, this is not hard. I really always try to encourage you guys because Deco mesh can be really intimidating. I don't know why. It always was for me. But I want you guys to know that it's actually one of the least intimidating things to work with crafting. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to pull it out and then add another little poof, but I'm going to kind of make that poof stick out just a little bit. But again, just continue adding those poofs as you go along, and it's going to look a little bit messy before we get finished, so just trust the process. Anyway, going back to Deco mesh being intimidating. Try not to be intimidated by Deco mesh. It's really not as scary as you think. I promise you cannot mess this up. It's actually really forgiving because it's so poofy. And you can just kind of add in more Deco mesh wherever you feel like you need it. And the other thing is it's very pliable, so you guys can kind of ply it around. Now, I'm taking this Dollar Tree Deco mesh. These are the last 2 rolls. We used 6 total for 1 wreath, and you just make a big giant loopy bow. So that's how I then go in and cover up where those zip ties were. And you're going to make about 4 of these with 2 rolls of mesh. You can probably get 6 out of them if you make them just a little bit smaller. But you just take the Deco mesh, you loop it over on itself, pinch it in the center to just make like a little bow there. Super easy, and then you just keep going around it until your wreath looks nice and fluffy and full and poofy poo. And you can add in, okay, so this is the great part about Deco mesh. Once you get to this space and you already have everything pretty much on here, you can add more ribbon, you can add bows, you can add signs, and these are so great to make for really any season. So Dollar Tree has this cute sun and sand wreath or sign, and so I just tie that onto it, and then I'm adding this cute little starfish. I'm going to take and make a really easy loopy bow using some Dollar Tree ribbon. You measure it from your hand to your elbow, and then you just take the ribbon and loop it over on itself. And this ribbon is from Dollar Tree, and it already has wire in it, so you're going to use the entire roll. And you do want to make your wreath bows for a Deco mesh wreath a little bit larger than you might normally make it, because when you drop it down into the Deco mesh, it's going to kind of eat a little bit of the size. And you guys know I love big wreaths, or I love big bows, and I cannot lie. But anyway, you're going to take a zip tie that off, and I'm just adding it in to this little spot to the side of the wreath, and then I'm going to give it a nice zhuzhing. Now, you really want to zhuzhy up your bows. That's really the secret to your bow. So when you fluff it out, you're going to want to kind of work around with it. Twist those loops, play with them, twist them a little bit more. Really get intentional about fluffing your bow. And then when you think you're done fluffing, fluff a tiny bit more. That's always been my motto. Whoops, there went a roll flying off of there, and boom, check this out. Now, I do like to add a little bit of detail ribbon, and this is just kind of some mermaid, cute little beachy ribbon. I'm going to tie it in like a double loop bow. So this is just like you be tying your shoelaces, but we're going to use 2 pieces of ribbon to do that, and then you're going to hot glue that. I'm just putting it into the center part of the bow to give it some dimension. And then Dollar Tree's been carrying these little starfish. I'm going to hot glue some of those into my wreath, and bam, I have a fun in the sun wreath. This is going to go out on my patio. It is currently pouring rain today. I wanted to share with you guys some little patio updates that I have going on. I haven't really done much new out there, except for try to keep it clean. I don't know if you guys have been getting a lot of rain, but we have been getting a ton of rain. So drop your weather report down in the comment section below. I always love to hear where everybody's from and what kind of weather we have going on. If you're new to my channel, I love to craft and decorate on a budget, and I just love to share those things with you. I want to give you guys a space where you can just come and come and unwind from your day, from the stresses of your day, where you can rejuvenate yourself by creating fun little things on a budget. And my crafts are not perfect. Most crafts aren't perfect. I don't sell my crafts. I just keep them to enjoy. So I hope you guys can enjoy them and be inspired and encourage others in your life or make something for others. So super fun and fabulous on a total budget. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I took one of the Dollar Tree square picture frames and I covered it in burlap, and then I'm taking some of this Dollar Tree greenery and I just trimmed it off at the base, and then some of these Dollar Tree hanging flowers, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the wreath. So I'm just kind of poking them in, and my idea for this came from a really high-end designer show, and I saw them doing a centerpiece, and they did just this beautiful blooming centerpiece. So this is just a Dollar Tree wreath form, again, that I covered in burlap, and then I'm taking these little short pieces of florals. So this is a great way to repurpose some of those florals maybe, or get a lot more bang for your buck. The next thing I'm doing is adding in some of these really pretty, vibrant, they're kind of like a little closed, it's either a rose, a cabbage rose, or like little peony. Anyway, they came in a bundle at Walmart. It was like $3 for the bundle, but I added that is kind of like a little bit of a showpiece. So that's kind of a little tip you guys can do, is when you're creating a floral, is to use some nicer florals popped in with just some inexpensive greenery and filler floral. That's going to get a lot more bang for your buck and make it really boutique gorgeous on a budget. So I'm just taking in and layering my greenery, as you guys can see, layering the little pink and yellow flowers. And again, I did cut the pink and yellow flowers apart. And if you see a little bit of hot glue around the edge, that's okay, because we're going to go back in and cover it with some pretty little green moss. So the other thing is have fun with this and get creative. You can either use some lovely florals that you might have in your crafting stash or box or whatever you have going on, or you all could, pop into your local Walmart, Dollar Tree, or craft store, or I even find florals at the thrift store, and gather some beautiful spring and summer florals to create a lovely masterpiece. The other thing is if you cannot find a square wreath form, you can always just use one of the Dollar Tree round wreath forms. I happened upon the square wreath form, and let me tell you, I know you guys think that I'm always finding really amazing stuff at my Dollar Tree, but I'm constantly hunting, and it's also completely random. I'll pop in there and it'll be empty shelves one day, and the next day it'll be completely stocked. So that's just the way it goes, honestly, with Dollar Tree. I also love the Walmart craft section, and Dollar General has some fun decor items, as well as, of course, your local craft store and thrift stores. So anyway, get creative with it, have fun, keep popping in those flowers, fill it out really nice and pretty until you feel like you're satisfied with it. And then what I did next was I just took some of that Dollar Tree greenery. It's like a little moss greenery, and they have several different kinds. So again, just customize it to whatever decor you're going for. I wanted this to look really summery, spring fresh. So I'm using my hot glue gun, and I'm just adding some blobs of hot glue, adding in the greenery, and then I like to try to shake the greenery out, and if I feel like it needs more, but this greenery does shed. So a little note here, it's kind of annoying, but it's so pretty. Anyway, they also sell greenery sheets at Dollar Tree too, which I know I have one in my stash somewhere, but check it out. I took this and I stacked a couple of vintage books inside of a little square wreath floral form, and then I put my little Dollar Tree candle lantern in the center of that, just so I use the books kind of as a riser. But there's so many ways I'm going to style this. I've actually already moved it over to my dining room table, and I've styled it the exact same way with the books and then the little candle lantern in the center. So definitely you guys can have fun with this and get totally creative. I am so excited to share this DIY with y'all. We are going to create a super adorable, easy summertime wreath. So I'm starting out with this grapevine base that I grabbed from Walmart, and then using some greenery, I'm just going to add some greenery picks to the base and then along the top. So just a little tip when you guys create wreaths, it's really great to kind of just start with some greenery first and then add in flowers and bows. So again, I'm just cascading my greenery up the side of the wreath and then some down the side, and I am using some dabs of hot glue as well. Now I'm taking this Dollar Tree lemon branch that I created, and to create a lemon branch you'll just grab some Dollar Tree lemons and then one of their cotton stems and then just hot glue them to the cotton stem, and then I added one of the little Dollar Tree foliage garland around that, and that created this really pretty little lemon branch stem. And so I had 2 of those, and I'm actually going to just zip tie these in one spot, kind of the center heaviest spot of them, and then that's going to add my lemons on. Now I do have an Amazon store that I'll link lemons in as well if you can't find them at Dollar Tree. I know it can be kind of hit or miss. Also, I know Walmart carries them. I've heard that that's a really great deal as well. The next thing I want to do is create a super little easy bow. I had this black and white ribbon in my stash. I believe I picked it up at Hobby Lobby, and so I'm just going to use the easy bow maker. You guys could always make an Olivia bow, and again I'll link my bow video for you down below, but just use the easy bow maker if you're using it. This is a 6-inch bow. I love the easy bow maker. It just goes side to side. You have this cute little bow. You push your ribbon side to side and then your bow is made. So it's really seriously super easy, and you guys can pick those up at Michael's, or I believe Deco Exchange sells them as well. I think they're like 13 bucks. Okay, now I'm taking a zip tie again, and I'm going to zip tie my little easy bow to my wreath. I've really been loving zip ties lately. I think they work better, honestly, in my opinion, than pipe cleaners. And I've just honestly run out of pipe cleaners, so I switched to zip ties, but they have a really sturdy hold. And you guys can easily cover up the little zip tie part with a piece of greenery. Now I'm using some of the little Dollar Tree lilacs, and I'm using the white to kind of give some dimension to my wreath. Again, I did just clip them off of the stem, and then I'm popping them in using a little dibble dabble of hot glue. And then voila, you guys have a super adorable, easy wreath on a total budget. So ready for some spring summer fun. This is going into my kitchen, and I actually found this gold frame from the flea market, I believe. Actually, my husband brought it home for me, and so I'm just going to pop that in. The frame is going to surround it, so that's kind of a fun idea too. You guys can use is to frame your wreath out, and then here it is popped into my little Hoosier cabinet. It's an old Hoosier cabinet I picked up at a garage sale years and years ago. It's always been like a center staple piece in my kitchen. So fun to decorate with, and I can't wait to share with you all the rest of these DIY projects. Tree wreaths and 2 loops of nautical rope. So I just hot glued the first piece of nautical rope, and then I'm going to hot glue again. So basically I'm just finding little spaces in the willow wreath to kind of hot glue. I really wanted this to be just a little bit sporadic, so as I worked, I just kind of found different spots in the willow wreath and then added a little bit of hot glue and another piece of nautical rope. So just continue to glue your nautical rope in and around your wreath. Again, I wanted it to look very relaxed. Beach vibes, beach decor is very casual, very relaxed. So I tried to kind of do it in a little bit of a loopy style, just kind of, you know, just gathering it and winding it around and hot gluing it and then gathering it some more. So this project was really inexpensive. Then you can go ahead and glue starfish or seashells. I had found a little thing of seashells for 50 cents at the thrift store, but Dollar Tree also carries seashells. So you're just going to hot glue your seashells on. The nautical rope was helpful because it gave my seashells kind of something to adhere to. So, and there you have it. You have a really beautiful beachy wreath. Of course, I did have to go in and add a bow. You guys know me. I love my bows, but just continue to glue those pretty beachy themed items onto your wreath, and you're having a very cute, very relaxed, and oh so natural beachy wreath. As promised, I could not resist adding a bow. I'm just going in with some of that Dollar Tree wired burlap ribbon, and I'm looping it up around the top. And I want to make this one a little bit longer. I'm just going to cut it off and then hot glue those two pieces together. And of course, you guys know I had to go a little bit extra. I could not resist. I tied a shoelace bow, which is just a very simple, very easy bow. And then I am dovetailing those ends to give it that boutique gorgeous finish. And then I'm just going to hot glue that to the top of my little hanger. Again, I saw a wreath similar to this on the Pottery Barn website. It was about $89. Of course, it did have quite a few more seashells, but I'm just using what I have for this project. I think it would be beautiful to add some starfish or more seashells, or as I said before, you can leave it very relaxed and very simple. And I think it's looking so cute and so perfect. For the first Dollar Tree hack, I wanted to share with you all that you can actually take a Dollar Tree pool noodle, put each end together, and then either using packing tape or duct tape, just tape the two ends together, and that's going to create a wreath form base. And these are super fun and great for the outdoors area. I'm now taking 3 Dollar Tree lays. These are just lays that you would use like a luau lay, and I'm going to begin to pull the flowers off. So all you have to do is take your scissors and cut one end of the lay, and then the little flowers will pull all the way off. I wanted to do this, and I actually ended up using 4. So I used a hot pink, a light pink, the white with the yellow, and then also a green. So I just disassembled the entire thing, and then I'm using my hot glue gun, and I'm going to add a line of hot glue and then just begin to take the florals from the lay and push them onto the wreath. So in our backyard, we have created kind of a little backyard. We call it our little backyard resort. I didn't know initially how long the quarantine lockdown was going to be, so I ordered a pool for my kiddos, and we've really had a lot of fun as a family using it and just making our backyard into a fun space to be that's entertaining for the summer and also safe. So I thought this would be perfect. We're doing kind of like just a little bit of a backyard. I wouldn't really say luau, but just making it fun, like if you would go to a fun little family resort. So we want to make it feel fun and family resort. Anyway, long story short, I thought this wreath would be just so perfect, and so I'm just continuing to add in the florals. Now the hot glue does melt the foam on the little round pool noodle, but that's okay. It kind of gives an indentation and it gives you somewhere to stick the florals. Be careful when you're doing this. You may want to wear the little finger protective covers because there is a lot of gluing involved, but it is well worth it. And for the couple of dollars you're going to spend, you're going to get a really unique wreath and so fun and fabulous. And I've actually never made one of these before, so I was excited. Now, I originally was just going to use 1 layer of florals, but I decided I really wanted to cover more of the pool noodle to make it look like really florally and like something you would see at a resort. So I ended up adding a layer all the way on the inside of the wreath and also on the outside of the wreath. And here is what your beautiful floral luau wreath is going to look like. And again, I did add another layer on the outside. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to make a beautiful bow. And some of you all had asked for me to share how to use the Easy Bow Maker. I'm just using this Dollar Tree Easter ribbon. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your pipe cleaner and lay that first. So there are these 2 little prongs that your ribbon goes into. And you want to add 1 prong or 1 layer of ribbon, and then I'm making this 5 inches on each side. So the great thing about the Easy Bow Maker is that it is already measured out for you. So you can see here I'm just using the 5 inches, so you can really gauge the length of your ribbon. Now I make the Olivia bow myself, so I'm going to link my huge bow making tutorial where you don't have to use a tool to make a bow, but because you all have been requesting for me to share with you how to use this, I thought we could go ahead and do it in this video. This is wired ribbon, and this wired ribbon is from Dollar Tree. So now I'm just adding my second layer, and I did it about 1 inch shorter than my first layer. This Easy Bow Maker actually is really, really easy. These little 2 prongs, there's 2 sticks, and they kind of act like as your hand. So I'm just layering it back and forth. And I will leave an easy bow maker link to my Amazon store. I think they're about 20 something dollars, maybe closer to 30 actually. I cannot completely remember, but a fun idea, especially if you have problems with your hands and you can't hold the bow very well, or you just need that extra help. This might be a great tool or option for you guys. So I just continued to layer my ribbon in, and I used 4 different loops here, and each loop I made just about an inch shorter. So now I've gotten to the end of my tails, and I'm just going to cut a tail here, and then you can go ahead and take the pipe cleaner, wrap it around your bow. That's what's going to secure your bow, and then you can just give it a little bit of a tug here, and then you can slide it off the easy bow maker. Now this is how I this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to make a super adorable summer scarf wreath. Okay, so you're going to grab 3 summer scarves from the Dollar Tree, and I chose these super cute red and blue ones. Now this can go with the Lake Life Nautical theme, which is what I'm going to do for this video, or think 4th of July. So what you want to do is grab a wire wreath form from Dollar Tree. You guys can also use the little green styrofoam ones. You're going to hot glue the scarf to the back of the wreath, and then this is so super easy. You're just going to simply twist it around the wreath frame. Now, how easy is that? Dollar Tree is also getting really creative with their different styles of wreaths. I noticed that they had Patriotic, star wreath forms, and all different kinds of things. So once you get to the end of your scarf, you're just going to kind of tuck it underneath, hot glue it again, and twist around. You're going to do this with 3 different scarves, and then you're even going to have a little bit left over from that 3rd scarf, which you want to trim off. Save that scrap because we're going to use it for the rest of this wreath. Now from the Dollar Tree, I'm also using their wired ribbon. I'm going to take the wired ribbon and just simply loop it around itself. And I measured it from my hand to my wrist. That's going to be about 12 inches, give or take some. And then I'm going to pinch it off in the center, and taking a zip tie, I'm going to zip tie the center of this and then attach it to the wreath. Now, you guys can use any pretty ribbon that you want to. Again, I'm going to do like a lake life kind of nautical theme on this wreath. Super easy to change out also for the 4th of July if I care to do that, just by removing the nautical elements and then adding in some fun flags. Or I could even actually leave, just thinking about this, it'd be fun to leave the nautical elements on and just pop in some American flags. So just some fun ideas. I think summer crafting, you guys, should just be really easy. I don't think it should be super time consuming, and you guys can think about this. This would be a fun craft for you to do with your kiddos or grandkids because it's really fairly easy as far as just the twisting of the scarf. And Dollar Tree always carries tons of seasonal scarves, so you're not locked into a summer decor wreath. You guys could do any style of wreath that they put out with their different scarves. They put all different kinds of flavors of scarves for every season. Now I'm going to fluffy up this bow and then add this cute little nautical anchor. Again, these were also at Dollar Tree. They're so adorable. I feel like for $1 and some change, it's not bad at all. Now I'm making some tails by twisting the rest of the ribbon that was on the loops. I dovetailed the ends by cutting the triangle in the end, and then I'm just adding in some of these amazing little wooden roses. These are also from the Dollar Tree. They're coming 4 to a pack, which I think they're super cute for kind of a centerpiece here. Again, keeping it fairly neutral, but then adding in these little sailboat clips. So these are paper clips with the little sailboat on the end, and I used one with the paper clip already on it. That way I could clip something 4th of July to my wreath if I wanted, and then I popped off the sailboats for the other end pieces and just ended up hot gluing those to the ends. So this is such a fun and easy idea. You guys are totally gonna have to try this. Okay, so now maybe it's not the most high-end looking fancy wreath. I do a lot, fancier things, but again, for something easy, summer friendly, you guys could totally do this. Very easy DIY, fun and fabulous on a budget. Dollar Tree DIY. I'm going to take one of these round Dollar Tree hoop rings and 2 of the Dollar Tree ivy garlands, and I'm just going to twist the ivy garland onto the hoop ring and begin to gently wrap it around the bottom part of the hoop ring. Now this I'm going to make kind of one of those half wreaths. I see them on Pinterest a lot and they're super popular, and they're really nice because they don't take up a whole lot of product, but they still look really fun and elegant. And you guys could always also paint this little hoop gold at the top if you wanted, but I just decided to leave it with just the green, and I feel like that is fine. You could also even wrap it in some pretty ribbon. Next thing I want to do is add in some of these pretty white flowers. They're going to be so pretty for spring. I want to give it just like this spring cottage feeling. In fact, a lot of my future upcoming DIYs are going to be very cottage centered. I feel like it's just a nice thing to do for this season, and really I know cottage decorating is coming back into fashion. I don't know if it really ever went out for me. I've always decorated in kind of a cottage style, just using kind of different flares on it, I guess. But I guess right now I want to do kind of like a romantic cottage style. That's what I'm in the mood for, so that's what I'm going to go with. And you guys can always remember, you can change up any decor idea that I'm doing and use the florals and colors that you guys love. So you can use any color of flowers on this. You don't have to use pink roses. This is what I have in my craft stash, and I do so many crafts for you guys. I really do try to make a point to repurpose and reuse as many things as I can, otherwise it gets rather pricey. And I also want to share with you guys how to do things on a budget. So here is how this is looking. Just continue to add pretty flowers as much as your heart's desire, but with this kind of half wreath, you are only going to be able to do about 1 or 2 kind of layers, just because you don't want it to get too heavy with that one little hoop piece. And here is how my pretty little spring cottage wreath turned out. I think it's really beautiful, simple and elegant. You could add some pretty bows to the center part and drape it down, or whatever suits your fancy, but I feel like this is just so pretty and in that perfect little cottage style. Basket for an Americana 4th of July patriotic holiday. So I'm taking this tobacco basket that I found at Dollar General. You can find them pretty much at any craft store. And then this America sign that I found at Dollar Tree. And then just a piece of floral foam. And I'm going to hot glue that floral foam to the base of the basket. Then I'm going to take some greenery. You can find greenery really at any craft store. I think I found this one maybe at Walmart. And I'm going to pop that greenery in. And you want to also hold on to that foam and make sure it hot glues onto there really well. And so just continue to pop in some greenery, and then I'm going to take some of these Dollar Tree white hydrangeas and pop those into either side. I love to do a tobacco basket. It's just something that's a little bit different than a wreath, and you can set it on top of things, which is super fun. And now I'm taking some of those blue Dollar Tree hydrangeas, and then here's those red roses that we made in kind of that Mackenzie Childs fashion with the Mackenzie Childs dupe ribbon. I'm popping those onto either side, and then now comes the super fun part. I'm going to take this easy bow maker. You can buy these at the craft stores or online, and I'm just going to use some of this red check ribbon. I found the red check ribbon actually on Amazon. I'll link some down below for you guys. I'll link my Amazon store with all my crafting supplies. So I'm just going to take it. I'm going to measure out 5-inch loops on either side, and I will tell you that this easy bow maker really and truly is easy. Now, if you don't have an easy bow maker, that's okay. I have a huge bow video for you linked down below where you guys don't have to have an easy bow maker. You can make the Olivia bow. It's also a beautiful bow. I've just got this new tool, so I'm like a kid at a candy shop and I want to play with it. It's just like a new crafting toy. Okay, so now I'm taking some Dollar Tree burlap lace ribbon. I want to do red, white, and blue. I didn't have white ribbon, but I did have this Dollar Tree ribbon, and I always try to use wired ribbon. And again, I'm measuring 5 inches on each side of my ribbon. Now I'm going in with this blue check ribbon. I found it on Amazon. I'll link my Amazon store down below for you guys, and I'm again measuring 5 inches on each side. So the loops will be 5 inches and the tails will be 5 inches. Don't forget to dovetail those ends and cut that pretty boutique triangle in it. Now I'm taking some of that faux Mackenzie Childs ribbon, dovetail those ends, give it a boutique finish, and I'm going to do this loop a little bit smaller, so 4 inches across on either side. The Easy Bow Maker does have the measuring tool already on there, which I absolutely love. But again, you can make this super easy, no problem, by hand. My hands, I've been doing so much painting that this bow maker, that was definitely helping me. Okay, so I'm also going to take the pipe cleaner and just twist it together, and that's going to keep my bow nice and tight together. Now, I will tell you that the secret to my bows, and really any bow, is fluffing. That wired ribbon really needs to be pulled and fluffed, and just play with it and mess with it until you get it absolutely how you want it. And that's really going to be the key to making a fabulous, gorgeous bow. Now, you're going to find the center part of your tobacco basket, and I like to take just a floral stem off of a floral, bend it down, and then pop that into my piece of floral foam. You may want to hot glue it to really get it to stay if it's going to be on a door, but mine's just going to be sitting on my dining room shelf, and that's all there is to it. Very few florals involved, some ribboning, yes, and then a pretty sign to your tobacco basket, and you're set to go with this fabulous, amazing creation. This would definitely be very expensive in a store, and it's boutique gorgeous on a budget. You guys can totally do this one. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this cute little farm to table sign, and this is just from the Dollar Tree. Gosh, I don't even remember when I bought it. I think maybe a couple months ago. It's been sitting around in my craft stash, and it's super adorable, but I decided to make it just a little bit more chic with some white paint. I think the faux wood around it is cute, but I just wanted to change it up, I guess. So now I'm going to take a Dollar Tree hoop wreath and wrap some pretty little greenery around it and around the hoop piece. So this greenery garland is not that thick, but if you take and layer 2 of them together, you're going to get a little bit more bang for your buck. So that's what I did for this one. And again, I just wanted this to feel kind of really simple and elegant and chic. I see a lot of these like kind of little simpler ideas in the craft stores, and you guys can definitely get crazy, and I do a ton of like really big over the top wreaths, but I'm really looking for that cottage style, which is kind of, it's a little bit more of a minimal look than what I usually do, which, hey, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to do my over the top florals, but I just thought this might be a nice idea for on a budget. So you've got $1 and change with your sign, and then a couple of bucks for your greenery. Now I'm going to take these pipe cleaners, and this is a little hack that I have for you guys for how to attach signs to your wreaths. You can take pipe cleaners and then take a piece of cardboard and hot glue the cardboard on top of the back of the pipe cleaner, and then hot glue that to the back of your sign. And as you can see right here, that's going to give you something to tie your sign onto and make it look like it's part of the wreath without it being actually part of the wreath. I guess that makes sense. Then I also took some green leaves and hot glued green leaves over those pipe cleaners so you can't see that part. And then I'm going to make a quick little loopy bow. So for the bow, you just take the ribbon and simply loop it over on itself. It's super simple. And you're going to tie that on to your greenery wreath. And then fluffy out that ribbon, and bam, you have a fabulous little easy farmhouse cute wreath. And Dollar Tree has so many different signs, you guys, so many fun little signs you guys can choose from. And you can do that, and it's going to be budget friendly. So I hope you guys are inspired and you're loving this. As always, comment and let me know what your favorite DIY in this video is. Which one will you be recreating? I am going to have a new giveaway coming up soon. I just have not had a chance to really formulate it and see what I want to choose for you guys, but there will be something for the month of April. So I'll try to remember to do that in my next video. But as always, I love y'all. I am also going to pop in a little clip of Benji Bear here in just a minute. But thank you so much for being here. It is truly a blessing and an honor, and I hope you guys are inspired and having fun crafting and decorating on a budget. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and honor to have you all here. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivias from Romantic Home, and I'd love to share with you all how you can make your home's boutique gorgeous on a budget. I truly believe that y'all don't have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. And for everybody that comes back and loves on me, thank you so much. It is truly a blessing and honor. I love to share what I do. I'm just a little one-woman show here, and I love to craft and decorate on a budget. So if you all love to do that as well, go check out some more of my crafting and decorating. I actually have playlists put together for you on my YouTube channel with all the different seasonal decor. So you can go and see fall and Halloween crafting and decorating, Christmas crafting and decorating, Easter, summer. I do even have some organizing and cleaning, which I'm not the best at, but I do give it a whirl, squirrel. So anyway, I would love to have you guys subscribe. It's totally free. If you punch the bell and click all, it will update you every single time I post a new video. You can also see me on a daily basis if you pop over to my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. I post several DIY videos a day over there. You can share those with your friends, comment, just have fun with those. And I just want to inspire you guys to just love your home wherever you're at. I have a small little starter home still. And the funny thing about it is I raised my kids here, and now that I'm a little bit older, I don't feel the need to like have a big giant home. So I'm kind of almost happy that we never moved in that direction. Not to knock anybody that has a big giant beautiful home, that's amazing. But you know, it's manageable for me. So in saying that, I just mean that you guys can love whatever size home that you're in, big or small. You can just be thankful and proud of that. Keep it tidy, organized, smelly nice. And that is going to help your family when they come home, or when you come home from a busy day at work or school. When you come home and your home is tidy and decorated and lovely, you can just kind of relax, and that can be your oasis. It's a little bit of a crazy world out there, I'm telling you, especially in the last couple of years. I know everybody's been going through something. So another little suggestion that I have is to be kind online. That is something I'm so passionate about. We have become to where we're moving in such a direction of so much social media, and there's so many different platforms that we can see people on, even just with our family and friends on Facebook, you know. And I know sometimes you get on there and you're like, oh, this just doesn't feel positive. There's too many political things being shared, in my opinion, and they all can be so toxic and negative. And so if you have that going on, what I do personally is I'm really not on a lot of social media except for Pinterest. I love Pinterest. That's a way to keep me, you know, not triggered emotionally, not triggered politically. And I also, when I am on Facebook or some of these other platforms, I just do my best to be really kind. You guys can always just click a heart on somebody's picture of their grandkid or their kid. People love their children. They love sharing those things, and they love hearing kind comments. And if there's something that you see that you don't care for, just scroll on past. So anyway, I know this is a crafting and decorating video, but I do like to encourage you guys at the end of my videos, and especially when I feel like it's necessary, you know, because we all do have a voice. So anyway, I love y'all so, so much. I will stop with all of that, but I'm wishing you a gorgeous, fabulous, blessed day. And until our next video, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. We'll talk to you very soon. Bye.